Hey guys, Tacoma Comics here. How you all doing? It's Tacoma Comics, and we got pick of the week. I think we're up to 14 or 15. I don't know. I should be less lazy and look it up, but I never do. So, going on a little vacation with my family today. So, doing this early in the morning. Only got 5 comics to go through. I already know this is not even close. Usually, I'm kind of torn, but this one it is not even close. There's one comic that came out, and if you know me, you know what it is. That blew away everything. So we're going to go through this. Hey, Kelvin, how you doing? Going to go through this a little quickly until we get to the last one where I'll spend the most time. So first of all, Marvel team up, new Marvel team up featuring Spider-Man and Miss Marvel. And look at that. It reads both ways. That's what we call a gimmick, my friends. And they need it because it's a mediocre issue. So, starting from this side, we have the story of Peter Parker, and he's going to go introduce a woman that he knows at a conference. She's brilliant, she's a genius, yada, 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 yada. He's nervous. As he's introducing, Spider senses tingling. I mean, this is all old fare. We've seen this stuff before. And some green guy attacks. They're always green, right? And the jackal. Peter says down here, "Hey, can I see your badge?" Pure Peter Parker, right? I'm gonna buy one more because it's got Miss Marvel in it, but I'm not gonna buy after that. You're absolutely right. So kind of cool. In this page, they then go landscape, right? And then the very next page is actually really, really great art. I'll give it this. I like this page, right? And you got to flip it upside down so you know you're going the other way to read the top and bottom line. Boom. And then right at the bottom, Miss Marvel and Peter have switched powers, or Spider-Man and Miss Marvel. That's kind of cool. All right. If we flip it from the other side, we get the story of Miss Marvel. And apparently, her mom has lost tons of weight, uh, lightened her skin, worn different clothing. The only thing I can think here is that they're trying to make her mom look more like Aunt May. If that was an intentional idea, I'll give them credit for that. Otherwise, it's just it's almost a retcon the way they change her mom around. And now that I'm looking at it with the pink and the green, I'm wondering maybe if it was an intentional Aunt May like homage or just something else going on because it does not look like Ami from any of the Ami. I believe is Pakistani from Mom. If I'm wrong, I apologize. But yeah, it just doesn't really cut it. So Miss Marvel's on a school trip to see this woman speaking, and basically goes through the same stuff, and that's it. It could be a scroll with no skills. That's as good a guess as any, right? All right, next up, Champions. 2 storylines going through this. One is freaking awesome, and it's a heart wrencher, and I love the colors here. It just gives this like ominous dread. And so Miles is explaining to Miss Marvel something's going on. They're both in tears and they're yelling and arguing. And the next page, you get this awesome art, which unfortunately is an advertisement for a David Finch cover. But the cover blew me away. Savage Avengers #1. But then the second half of the story is this woman, Caldera, the young lady, teenager, is going after Nova, who is no longer Nova because Sam Alexander does not have his Nova powers. And she wants to kill him and wants to kill him. And, so they interrupt this thing. They start with Miss Marvel and Miles, and they go through like 4 or 5 pages of the champions fighting. And, I wonder if Jim Zub's going to kill off all these because there's like 25 members of the champions now. I'm not kidding. They like added 10 new ones in the first issue. So what I love about this fight is I never knew much about Dust. Dust is a badass. Dust does not mess around. I like her character a lot. Dust is sick and pretty powerful. So anyway, this woman Caldera finds out that, guess what? Nova doesn't have his Nova helmet anymore. It was confiscated. Did anybody read Infinity Countdown Champions #2? Me neither. But apparently he lost his helmet. So he's now just Sam Alexander. So she says, no, I'm not going to kill you. I have to kill you when you're at full power. So the champions just let her take him away in a plane to go get his Nova powers back so she can kill him. And everybody says, oh, this is a bad idea. Miss Marvel is going to be mad. Segue back to the Miss Marvel story. Here's where Miles admits that he made he saw Miss Marvel die, and I think Viv as well, and he made a deal with Mephisto to turn back time, and it saves them, but it kills this girl named Farida, and he's devastated because he's supposed to be a hero, and he ended up killing a girl. It wasn't her fault. It's because he was selfish. Miss Marvel then says, oh, it's my fault. I'm the leader. I need to quit. And he's like, no, you don't quit. I'm going to quit. No, you quit. No, you quit. And so, yeah, it's pretty devastating. I'm making light of it, but it really is extremely well done. Hey, Big. So, yeah, we got to wait till War of Realms is over. Yeah, I did not. You'll see there's no War of Realms on this list because there's no Detective Comics 1000 last week either. I'm not going to play the game where there's an issue with 3,000 variants. Just can't do it. But this ends with Mephisto talking to his father, and the son saying, or the son talking to Mephisto, I guess, and just saying like, why'd you let him go? What's going on? He's like, he's a pure of heart hero. These are more fun to destroy. I'm going to extend their torment. And it's pretty cool because he's got his son tied up. Like this is the father-son relationship here. The son is tied up next to this pillar, which is pretty good. No, it is not Mr. X, though. That stuff is blown up in Rob Liefeld's face. It's so funny, man. So we'll take a prelude before the last two. Yeah, Key Collector Comics got into it. All they did was post SpiderMan Deadpool 47 is the first cameo of Major X, and Rob Liefeld went like ape shit crazy. I don't know if it was about that specific one or if it was just building. He's like, no, that's not the first appearance. Only this one that I'm going to sign for this much money is the first appearance. And then the artist or the creator of Spider-Man Deadpool just came out and was like, oh, dude, man, I just thought it'd be cool to put a little cameo of him in there. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean anything by it. But that didn't sate Rob. Rob's like, ah! So now everybody's just like ripping on him on Instagram because he's being a little baby about it. It's pretty funny. All right. Next up is Paper Girls 27. Nice wraparound. Boom. Paper Girls, if you're not following it, I loved issue 1 through, I don't know, 1 through 10. Then it got really crazy about 11 through 20, and I kind of lost what was going on. And now it's come back full circle. What I like about this is it's really grounded in the 4 girls, Erin, Mac, KJ, and Tiffany. And so when things get crazy, you still know what's going on. So I can't remember who this dude is. I can't remember who this Charlotte is, but KJ makes this appropriately goofy joke. Says, hey, because his name's Jude. Hey, Jude, don't make me sad. Puts her like power boot on her arm like she's about to clock him one, which is pretty cool. But then they come to an understanding and they realize they're on the same side, and they're after the old ones generation. I think they're called the older ones. And they're going to team up. Then we go to Mac, who's in this other world still with this lady. I can't remember if the lady's an older Mac, and Mac is still decrying the fact that she's going to die because she's got cancer, and the cancer has been caused by the time traveling. Little great throwbacks. Like, they don't throw it in your face that this is an 80s comic, but look at this Sony Walkman, right? I was so jealous of like all the girls that had money in college jogging with these on their arm with the Velcro straps when I was like a freshman. And this Memorex tape, man, I remember that exact color Memorex tape. Like, is little things like that is just, bam. I really dig this. All right, so there's Mac's story, and this is great scene. where this lady is comparing the time stream to a Memorex tape. Says you can only record, you can only go back and record over it so many times before it gets ruined. Um, it's supposed to be big. It's supposed to be like a foil cover. I haven't seen it yet. I'm torn because I'm trying not to spend money on hardcovers that I already own, but yeah, I kind of want to. So now we're back with Tiffany, and she's talking to her older self and a bunch of older paper girls, and everything's coming together. So you're kind of getting like the idea of hope with the three storylines. These girls have all got people in the timelines helping them get back to 88, destroy the bad guys. But then we end up with Erin. Erin, the new girl, Erin, the paper girl. She goes into her old house because it turns out dreams are actually messages from the future. And something crazy happens. She thinks she's about to get saved. And then grandfather appears right at the end. And that is a pretty cool ending. So Paper Girls was pretty good here. Good issue. It's like, I think they're just going to 30, so maybe 3 more issues. It's been a solid series, real solid series. Even the ones I didn't understand, I liked, because even without understanding them, they were enjoyable, if that makes sense. Let me just check the chat here. I find it hard to believe Artist did it as a cameo, is brand new. Yeah. So either the artist was being a little tongue in cheek when he's like, "I'm sorry, I didn't know," or you're right, the editors let it go through. I mean, the editors got to catch that. So either it was, they're playing a joke on Rob, or Rob had said something earlier and they're like, whatever. Not exactly sure. Not exactly sure. So yeah, you can't blame the artist. If nothing was said specifically, that's too bad on Rob. What are you going to do? All right, I'm not even going to joke. Pick of the week this week was super easy. It's the end of the first arc. It's die number 5. First of all, look at the David Mack cover. Just look at it. I only got 1 copy of cover B, and that's driving me crazy because, did I say just look at it? Wow. I'm digging that cover. Oh, I'm digging that cover so good. And Stephanie Hans kills it as well, but we're so used to her being awesome that we don't even mention it, how awesome she is. But yeah, this story, man. So it starts off, the title of this is called Premise Rejection. And Premise Rejection, this is interesting for my son, because he's playing D&D and he's learning D&D. He's a dungeon master at his school club that he started. The idea of premise rejection is when the players reject what's going on, right? So the 5 issues so far have been like the campaign, the inn, some like very classic names and concepts. This one is the premise rejection, and it starts out with Ash and Soul back in the day, and this is when, like, Ash is clearly a woman now and kind of indeterminate back in 1991 when they started, which is kind of cool. But they're building this Lego thing, and Soul's like, "Don't touch it. It's finished." So you just get this like callback idea that Soul likes things to be built, likes things to be kept the way they are. And now they're in this place called Glasstown, and they're determined to destroy Glasstown because they think if they destroy the creator's creation, he knows Geek and Sundry. I don't know if he knows Project Alpha, but thank you. I will mention that to him. He's a huge Critical Role fan, though, for sure. But I will mention both of those to him. So we start off with the Godbinder, whose name is Isabel. And she's got this power where not the Godbinder. My bad. I had this all straight before we start off. We start off with the Dictator, who is Ash. My bad. The one that we just saw. And she's telling the mayor of Glasstown to give her all the secrets of Glasstown. And if you just look at these pictures, like any one of these could be a Stephanie Hans cover. I mean, look at the progression of her face. She's hungry with power here. And she goes through these little bits of doubt, and then she's like, just F it. I'm telling this mayor what to do. Right. And she feels like not even the slightest bit of guilt about it after a while. She's liking her power. Right. And then they know that they're gonna need some power and some attacks. So they go to Neo or Angela. Hey Jeff, how you doing? And she's calling upon some other powers in this world. I'm not quite sure what Neo's power is. I mean, the dictator can get people to do what they want, but she communes with these with the whole system, the whole world of Dai as a system. So she's talking to it like it's a computer system. Communicate message. I'm coming back, and I've got company. And so she's bringing dragons with her, because what fantasy story wouldn't be complete without dragons? Which is pretty cool. But of course, Glasstown has its own like defenders. So now Ash is coming in with the Grief Knight, and they've got to fight. Now, if you know about the Grief Knight, like the most sick creation, the Grief Knight gets his power on his own emotional sadness. She says, Ash, make me sad. And so she tells him, and this is like the subtext of the whole thing, children with no father, because back home in the real world, he's got kids, wife with no husband, no explanation, no resolution, forever. Ash, make me sad. Like that was a freaking gut punch. And so now he's powerful. He destroys all these beings. And now they've got Glasstown destroyed, but they want to save the people. So now we're up to Isabel, the Godbinder, and she calls upon the Skywatcher. She's the one who's on the cover of this comic, Isabel, the Godbinder down here. She calls upon the Skywatcher, and Skywatcher just looks like this god dude in the background. Look at this. He just is like, hey, what's up? What do you need? She's like, I'm going to help you save a lot of people, and you'll owe me. So he helps get the people out, and she's almost like guilty about her power. She's like, all right, here it goes. Christ. Listen, I come here to grand prophecy. The price of defeating the Grandmaster, it's Glasstown, it's over. I gathered you to ensure you all live. So now they break out. Of course, Soul doesn't like the fact that, look at that. Those again could be covers. The art is so beautiful in this. Soul does not like that people are fucking with his town. So Soul's coming back for some revenge. And there's a fight. But Soul is the Grandmaster. He's the DM. He gets to set the rules. So starts out, he's like, anything that freezes, that flies, now freezes. Dragons all freeze in the midair, right? So they think they've got him. They're attacking, right? He's weakened, but he's still powerful. And again, I just call you to the artwork. Like, so much is said with just a few strokes here. It's so beautiful. And then they've got him on the run, and they end up killing him, which is cool, but he was their friend, so they're having some disagreement. Ash kills him, and she says, judge me when I'm done, when we're home. I did what I had to do. This is over. Check this out. I do remember that bake. That was awesome. Check out this one. That is, oh my God, that's beautiful. That's like Stephanie Hahn's taking everything she's learned and just pouring it into one panel. Oh, so beautiful. So yeah, they kill Soul. They realize he's been weakened. They kill him. Now the prophecy or the rule that Soul set out is they all have to agree to go home. All they do is they hold hands, say the game is over, and they go home. Soul obviously wouldn't let them home. That's why they had to kill him. But Chuck, who's called the Fool, says the game is, are we really sure we're not rushing into things here? I can do pull-ups again. I'm strong. I'm powerful. I like it here. And then Isabel kind of gets, like, Chuck just wants to hang out in this world now that Soul's gone. And Isabel is kind of like, you know what? Maybe he's right. We just killed a city of millions of people. Maybe we should help him out. So she's feeling like sympathy with the people. Chuck just wants to hang out. And Grief Knight wants to go home because he's full of grief. Chuck pulls a gun on Ash. Isabel calls on the Skywatcher to pay back the favor. And then Neo's dog, Case, I still don't know where the dog came from, is like, oh, alert, alert, wait a second. There's something called the Fallen in this game. When the dead die, they become the Fallen, capital F. The Grandmaster is now one of the Fallen. He's not too happy because all the Fallen here are people who have come from our world and died. So they just realized they're not the only 5 who were pulled into this world of die. And the rule is, if we kill the players, we can live again. So now all the dead people in this world, all the Fallen, are going to be after our people. And they're pretty emotionally devastated. And this book has this ability to go back and forth between sick-ass Dungeons and Dragons, sword and sorcery, magic fighting scenes, to emotionally wrenching, destructive scenes. And I know Kieran set the story out, but I give Stephanie all the credit for that. Look at this last page. Oh, I love it. I love this so much. The word is murder. Die still lying, not the word. The word is murder. And then you go to another back matter essay by Kieran, which is really cool and interesting. So, yeah, I know 1 week Pope got mad at me for not picking Die like 2 as the best comic, but I had like 8 comics. This one is not even close. This is so good. So good. Yeah, man. That's it. That is my pick of the week. It is, hey, Sam, how you doing, buddy? Just went through my picks of the week, or my pick of the week, Sam. Marvel Team Up wasn't close. It had one interesting thing. Champions was pretty good. It had a great storyline and a mediocre storyline. Hit Girls 27 was solid fun, great wraparound cover. I like where the story's leading. It's coming to conclusion, but none of them came close to Die number 5. This was just a killer issue. Just killer. So that is my pick of the week, ladies and gentlemen. I am headed off to, where am I headed off to? I'm headed off to the shore. Going to stay the night in a hotel with the family and go razor clamming tomorrow. So I won't be back on YouTube for a couple days. Hope I don't miss too many good shows. Hope you guys all have a great weekend. Can't wait to see your content, what you put out there. If anybody, this is my last shout out, anybody watching this in the rewind is interested in doing a show about Die, now that the arc is complete, I want to do like a long deep dive into Die, in the world of Die, and the creation of Die, the art of Die, and the words of Die, and everything about Die. Let me know. I'm going to set that up sometime in the next week or 2 as like a longer form deep dive show. So let me know if you're interested in that. And yeah, I will talk to you all later. Thank you so much for being with me. Take care.